Stop playing God. Pastor Tunde Bakare sent a serious warning to Tinubu and Wike over the suffering of Nigerians, over the things that is going on in Nigeria at the moment. I'm going to allow you guys to watch the rest of the video. If other men of God, if other strong men and women could come out and condemn the action of Mr. President and Wike, I think Nigeria will become a better place. He has said nothing but the truth. I weep for my country, Nigeria. Enjoy the rest of the video. Don't forget to share with us your own thoughts at the comment section. Please kindly subscribe so you don't miss out any amazing and interesting updates coming from my channel. Very important. Please click on the like button. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of the video.
What we have seen since the beginning of the year is a descent into tyranny and a brazen abuse of power. Those entrusted with power appear determined to destabilize what is left of our political institutions and have committed themselves to obliterating the guardrails of constitutional governance. From the theater of the absurd, staged in Rivers State, with puppets on strings controlled by directors in Abuja, to the dance of shame performed by the National Assembly in their rush to suspend the Constitution and endorse through the back door the usurpation of powers by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, from the Senate shameless bid to silence Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for demanding that the President of the Nigerian Senate should uphold the moral standard required of that office, to the uncouth outbursts of an undistinguished senatorial misfit who tried in vain to silence the distinguished citizens attempting to testify on behalf of Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan. It is clear that our so-called leaders are determined to turn Nigeria into a mafia state. At the center of this political banditry is the motor park brand of politics, nurtured by the old brigade politicians and in recent times by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. President, it is through your influence that the Nigerian National Assembly has become a haven for legislative rascality. Mr. President, it's under your watch that the National Assembly has become an extension of the executive, grossly violating the principles of separation of powers and rubber stamping the whims and caprices of your office, all while singing the international anthem of self-governance on your mandate, which shall stand. Mr. President, thanks to your political machinations, Nigeria is now bedeviled by a captured National Assembly, the most ineffective in its checks and balances role since the start of the Fourth Republic. In 2006, the Fourth National Assembly had the audacity to reject the tenure exemption bid of a sitting president. In 2010, the Sixth National Assembly summoned the courage to stand against the power hijacking cabal and restore Nigeria to the path of constitutionality by invoking the doctrine of necessity. In 2011, the House of Representatives of the Seventh National Assembly had the courage to elect its leaders, as did the Senate of the Eighth National Assembly in 2015, defying executive interference. This National Assembly, the 10th, has by its unconstitutional endorsement of the President's abuse of powers proven to be the most spineless in our recent history. Through its actions and inactions, the National Assembly has in effect become the 48th member of the President's cabinet. While a cabinet minister by the name of Wike, is it Wike or Wike or Wakeep? While a cabinet minister has more or less become a third-time state governor in Rivers State, pampered by the indulgences of the President. Recent events have made it clear to Nigerians that had this assembly been in place in 2006, when the third-term agenda was proposed, our democracy would have since morphed into one of Africa's lamentable tales of sit-tight dictatorship. To the President of the Nigerian Senate, who has not heeded the call to subject himself to an unbiased investigation, to clear his name of the allegations leveled against him, and under whose leadership the National Assembly has become a carry-go legislature, hiding under the umbrella of technicalities and a dubious voice voting system, I leave you and your conscience with the words of Frederic Bessières, former deputy of the French National Assembly. He said, and I quote, "When plunder becomes a way of life for a group of men in a society, over the course of time, they create for themselves a legal system that authorizes it and a moral code that glorifies it." To the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, under whose brand of politics the institution of legislative oversight is collapsing and our democracy is faced with an existential threat, I say, Mr. President, Nigeria is too delicate for this kind of politics. If this state capture was what you meant by Emilokan, it is an anticlimax that can only be counterproductive at the end. I urge you, Mr. President, to think deeply and reflect on these words. No man is wise enough, nor good enough to be trusted with unlimited power. Mr. President, please stop playing God.
My own friends are calling me traitor now. People are calling me, they're sending me messages. They said, "Docs, why don't you want this merger? I think you're already working for Tinubu now." Can you imagine? Now I find out the reason they're saying that.
Are you working for the president?
I am working for the PDP, obviously. I know the president very well, and it's a man of ill repute. I can never work for him. He doesn't deserve it. Nigeria doesn't deserve a terrible president like this, and God forbid that I should be found with a man like that. Now, you see, the reason why they're asking me, and I find out, is that they are members of the Labour Party. They want me to come to the Labour Party to join them, and they want PDP to come into the Labour. Say, look, if you want to work for me and the Labour Party, please go ahead. Let me do what I can for the PDP. When we go to election, we shall see who Nigerians want. That's all.
Atiku doesn't think that PDP can face APC as it is as right now. I mean, we can call it selfish.
I know. That's what Atiku thinks. Atiku has been wrong many times before. He's wrong again.
But you were part of the presidential committee of 2023, and Atiku was your candidate.
Yes. Let me tell you something. And at the appropriate time, if it comes to it, I will reveal as much as I should. For now, let me just say that Atiku was in PDP in 2015. He left PDP in 2015. Came back in 2017. He was welcome. I was one of the people that worked with him to get a nomination, to get a ticket for 2019. But he ran that election, he lost. His attitude to the party is part of the reason why he's having problems now. I supported him mainly, primarily because he promised to restructure Nigeria. And I believe, even now, if Makinde wants to run for president, the first thing I told him is, if you are interested in restructuring Nigeria, let me understand that you know what we're talking about. Nigeria will never settle unless we reorganize the way the system works. It's too centralized. It's a military system we're running. We have to run a truly democratic system whereby each region, just like in the US, each state has control over so many things. You don't overload the center. President is just too powerful. Everything is from Abuja. So once you agree to do that, that's the reason I supported Atiku. Now, Atiku has, he ran in 2023. He lost in 2023. If he wants to run again in 2027, he should come and say so within the party. I suspect that his feeling is that he cannot get the ticket in 2027. There's a lot of opposition to him now in the party. People are saying enough is enough. Yes. That's what they're saying. Therefore, he going to form a merger is looking for another platform. I cannot be part of that. I said to him, stay in the party. Don't be running from here. You ran from PDP, you ran to ACN, you ran from ACN, you came back to PDP. You want to run away from PDP again? Don't do that.